Hi everyone, so in this one we will be solving 1251 average selling price. This is of type easy. So that we have given one table prices. This table has 4 columns: product ID, start date, end date and price. So product ID, start date, end date is the primary key combination of columns with unique values. So one product, the price of one product is 5 during this time frame. The price of the same product will be 20 during this time frame. So in order to get the primary key, we have to make the combination of product ID, start date and end date. Each rough table indicates that the price of the product ID in the period from start date to end date. For each product ID, there will be no two overlapping periods. So for this one, for this line, it means to say that for product ID 1, there will not be any cases where during the start date and end date there will be two prices. That means there will be no intersecting periods for the same product ID. We have also given one more table, units sold. It has 3 columns: product ID, purchase date and units. This table may contain rows, duplicate rows. So write a solution to find the average selling price for each product. Average price should be rounded to 2 decimal places. If a product does not have any sold units, its selling price is assumed to be 0. Okay, so now let's see this one. We have to figure out the average price for each product. So now let's look at the product ID 1. So product ID 1 was for $5 during this time frame, and let's see. So this 2019-02-025 during on 2019-02-05-25 someone bought 100 units of it. So the price will be, the total will be 100 into 5, right? And then in the denominator I'm writing it here, it will be 5 units, right? Then let's look for this one. So March 1st the price was 20 and how many units were bought? 15. So the total will be 20 was the 15 units bought for 20. So the total will be 100 plus 15. So total will be 100 plus 15. This is for product ID 1. Let's look for product ID 2. So it will be 200210 this time frame, 200 units sold for a price of 15 plus 0322 this one. So it will be 30 units sold for a price of 30, and then in the denominator we have to write the number of units to get the average. So now let's see how we can write the query for this one. So I have already created the table. You'll say it, the primary key is product ID, start date and end date. Now let's run the query. So first we will join the two tables using the product ID, and then we also have to take care of this constraint which says that we have to find the average selling price for each product. So in order to get the price for each product, we have to use the left join on the prices. So select from prices P, left join units sold U on P dot product ID, and it will be equals to U dot product ID. And then we also want to make sure that that's purchase date, it should be between start date and end date. So we have to write and U dot purchase date between P dot start date and p dot end date. Now if I just do p dot product id, because we want to make sure that we are getting the average price for all the products, so this will come from the first table, which is prices. Let's assume one more scenario, that if this table might have one more row with product id 5 and it had some start date and end date and then some price, let's say 200, but no one has bought any of that product, so in unit sold that product will not be available here. So for that one we have to write one more condition, that or for that product u dot there will be no purchase date. Purchase date is null. Now let's paste this in lead code. Let's see if we are getting anything. So we are getting, okay, let's put few more columns. Let's put p dot prices and u dot units and u dot purchase date, so that we'll be able to get more familiar with the table. It is price. So product id 1, so I'll scroll to the left. So product id 1, the price was 50 and how many units were bought? 100. Sold, 100 units were sold during this day. So now we got all the information. What we did here was, first we applied the left join on the prices to get the information about every product on the prices table, and then we also wanted to make sure that the purchase date should be between the product start date and end date, or for the products which are not present in the unit sold, where no one has bought any of that product, we know that the purchase date will be null. So we have put or condition here. So let me just put it like this, and then what we have to get, we just have to get the product id. So it will be as product id, and then we need to get the average. So to get the average, I know that it will be sum of sum and then multiplication of these two and these two. So it will be p dot price into u dot units, and then it will be sum of u dot units, and then we also have to round it to 2 places, and then if there will be any null, then we have to put 0 there, yes, and it will be our average price. Let's run this one. Okay, okay, we also have to group by, because if we are using the aggregate function, we also have to use the group by. So it will be group by the first one. Let's see the results. So for product id 1 we are getting the expected result, for product id 2 also. So let's run and then let's submit. So it got accepted. Thank you.